Let's talk about competitive advantage through differentiation. Most companies believe differentiation means adding a feature, options, or clever messaging. They invest in branding workshops and positioning statements and use a marketing language designed to sound unique. But when you talk to customers, differentiation really shows up that way. Customer experience differentiation as ease and clarity and knowing what to choose without thinking too hard. Two companies can sell nearly identical products at similar prices, and yet one feels obvious while the other feels exhausting. Differentiation only becomes a competitive advantage when it changes customer behavior, not changes the way you tell your story. By the end of this video, you'll understand why real differentiation creates a customer default, how most differentiation efforts fail, and what it takes for differentiation to become an advantage that competitors cannot easily copy. Differentiation is not what makes you unique. It's what makes you a default choice. Many companies define differentiation by uniqueness. They ask, what makes us different? Customers ask a very different question. Which option requires the least effort to choose and use? Differentiation becomes a competitive advantage when customers stop comparing, when the decision feels obvious. When choosing you feels safe, it's simpler, and it's more natural than evaluating alternatives. If customers still need to think hard, you are not differentiated yet. You are just described. Now, differentiation must be specific and not too abstract. Abstract differentiation sounds impressive, but it collapses in practice. Phrases like best in class, customer-centric, innovative, end-to-end, they don't change behavior. Specific differentiation does. It shows up as a clear use case, a defined customer situation, a visible trade-off you deliberately make. When differentiation is vague, competitors can mirror the language overnight. When differentiation is specific, copying actually requires changing how their business actually runs. The strongest differentiation removes effort customers usually carry. Customers carry invisible effort every time they buy or use something. They carry decision fatigue, risk anxiety, coordination of work, setup friction, cognitive load. When customers feel relief rather than excitement, you are closer to real differentiation. That relief becomes sticky. People don't want to relearn hard things. A clean example of this is Costco. They differentiate by design, not by slogans. Costco doesn't differentiate by claiming premium quality or low prices in their advertising. It differentiates through constraints, limited stocking units, a membership model, bulk packaging, sparse stores, not constant promotions. These choices remove effort for customers. You don't need to compare dozens of options. You trust the curation. Costco's differentiation lives in its operating model, not the message, and this is why it holds. Differentiation is hard to copy when it actually lives inside the operating model. Most differentiation fails because it's layered on top of an unchanged system. A new message, a new campaign, a new tagline. But the underlying operation stays the same. When differentiation is embedded in how decisions are made, how products are designed, how trade-offs are enforced, how teams are incentivized, copying becomes expensive and disruptive. Competitors may like your differentiation, but they can't afford to replicate it without breaking themselves. Differentiation becomes sustained advantage when the system holds under pressure. The real test of differentiation is not growth. It's stress during demand spikes and cost pressures and marketing shifts and competitive attack. Weak differentiation collapses during these times. Strong differentiation holds because the system reinforces it. If differentiation disappears, the movement pressure rises, and it was never an advantage in the first place. It was convenient. Sustained advantage comes from coherence between promise, behavior, and operations. If you want a clear way to see whether your differentiation shows up in customer behavior or only an internal narrative, download the EdgeFinder Overview PDF. It shows leaders how to identify real customer visibility edges and test whether those edges are strong enough to hold before competitors erode them.